Greetings, Minecrafters, and welcome to another discussion. Today, oh my gosh, today is coming straight from just like I'm inside my frame. I'm very aware of like peeking outside the frame because if any of you have felt overwhelmed before, I'm going to guess that's probably most people. This is a good one to listen to because here's the thing. There really is no such thing as overwhelmed. You're probably saying, oh yeah, I'll be in my life. Well, here's the thing. It's just like stress. There's no such thing as stress either. Only people thinking stressful thoughts. Same thing with overwhelm. Think about it. That wave that just comes over, it's like a tsunami. I had a brief minute of that this morning before I pulled myself out. More than a brief minute. It was like 2 hours, actually, kind of knowing I needed to climb out. And I was like, oh. So overwhelmed, that wave, that tsunami that comes over us cannot happen without thinking overwhelmed thoughts, right? So those overwhelmed thoughts are typically about not having control. Not having control. Things being too many things. That often does it. That was the case for me today. Well, no, that wasn't really it. Things taking too much cognitive juice, because that's different. You can have lots of little things, and that feels like too much. And then you forgot to call the pediatrician back. Now your kid can't play soccer if you don't hurry up. Like, there's all that kind of pressure. And also, there's the stuff that just takes lots of cognitive juice. Like, I have a big presentation I'm doing next week that I'm really excited about. It's also the end of the semester, so there's grades to get in. And then there was this task that was going to take a lot of cognitive juice because it kind of involved some skill set that just isn't mine. Details, and I'm the only one that could do it, though, because I'm the only one with access, so it wasn't like I could say no. Usually I'd say just say no. This was not that situation because I'm the only one that really could do it as far as access goes. And so that was kind of like starting to send me off the edge. So remember, so the first thing is, if you're overwhelmed, tell yourself that this is all here. So even when we're in this spin of overwhelmed, like we just dove down so far as a scuba diver and we don't know which end is up, so we got to blow bubbles to find out which end is up, kind of thing, that total wave of overwhelm, remember that it's back to here, okay? Then when you're telling people, oh my God, I'm so overwhelmed, you're saying, I am so overwhelmed, I am whatever. Be very, very, very careful with when you say the words I am. Oh, I don't know what that is. When you say the words I am, be very careful about what's next, because if you're not, you're gonna be, because you're kind of declaring that you are overwhelmed. Okay, that was a false alarm. Ever since that bear sighting, but that was actually a humongous, like ginormous bird, pheasant or something, did this. That sounded like a rumble. So we're kind of on our toes with the bears these days. Ever since we saw little 3 cubs like last week. Anyway, okay, overwhelmed. Okay, so there's no such thing as overwhelmed. There's overwhelmed thoughts, and we get the wave, the tsunami. There's a little recap here. And whenever we say I am, okay, you want to be really careful of what you put there. Never mind repeating it and saying it over and over again, because the brain loves patterns. We've talked about it. The more we repeat something, the more the brain's going to look for it, the more it's going to stick, and then the thoughts turn into beliefs, and then you're going to really believe you're overwhelmed. That's just not what we want. Not what we want, because overwhelmed is a state of thinking about things that we don't have control over, perceive that we don't have control over, when in reality, control is an illusion to begin with. Okay, so then after that, we have remind yourself about what you already know. And I had a wonderful friend and colleague remind me of that this morning, because this involved a little situation. He said, just remind yourself it's about them, not you. Like, that. You're in your frame, right? It's about them, not you. So now whatever you're overwhelmed with, it'll depend on whether that fits. But if it's a situation where there are challenging people to deal with, remember that, what anybody says or does, to us is about them, not us. We've got to remind ourselves. If that's not the situation, it's another situation. Like, let's say, just too many things. You've got just too many things. Remind yourself that multitasking is a myth. It's not real. So when people say, oh, how come she's such a great multitasker? How come they're such a multitasker? How come he's such a They're not. That's all bullshit. Because the brain is wired to do exactly one thing at a time. That's it. When somebody appears to be multitasking and doing it well, what that is a rapid, like a really quick shift in attention. That's really all that's happening. So remind yourself when you've got a lengthy to-do list that you can only do one thing at a time. Well, you can only do one thing at a time, period. If you want to do it well, you want to be in the moment, be mindful, focus on that. That leads right into the next tip, which is to set a curfew for yourself, because there's only so many hours in the day. Your life minutes now are very important, which is why we're in the woods and not doing the thing I was going to do, because I just didn't need to take some of this on today. So yeah, so that's it. And then that rolls right into the next thing. After the curfew, draw a line in the sand. Like after 8, I'm not on the computer anymore. I'm not answering another email. I'm not doing another task. I'm not. Or make it even earlier. Have a nice, maybe it's 7, have a nice dinner with yourself, your partner, your kids, whomever, and then watch a movie. Okay? And then, because you can only do so much anyway. So just realize that and accept it. Acceptance is the key to most problems. I'm human. I have limits. And I'm not going to take on this, that, and that and be up till 11 o'clock and have no quality of life. I'm just not doing it. Okay, that leads into the next thing, which I say a lot when I do different workshops on self-care, which is people are so focused on to-do lists. I'm a big fan of the not to-do list, okay? And I have a killer work ethic. It's not about that. It's about there's only 24 hours in a day, and there's especially, with the technology being what it is, and emailing and 24/7 access with phones, sometimes you just got to shut that stuff off. Let the world spin without you, at least for a half an hour or so, because these life minutes in this day are very, very important. So if you're overwhelmed, it's good to claim some of those back. Claim some of those back. And then take a break. Take a complete break, like I'm doing right now in these woods. G and I already had he's thrilled though. G and I already were out in the woods this morning, and I don't usually come back. Sometimes I do a second time, but he's of course thrilled because I really was needing some more centering today. I'm just being true, very humble and honest. I had to kind of take my own suggestion today, which I do anyway. Honestly, I walk the talk, as they say. But I just needed it. I needed it because things were really spinning, just too much, too fast, too many requests and demands in such a short amount of time that when the going goes tough, the tough go to the woods. That's just how it is. So there they are. Gotta when we are feeling overwhelmed, just because we had to have overwhelmed thoughts first. We then say, to anyone who will listen to us, oh, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so overwhelmed. Then he's overwhelming them. Like that doesn't help anything. And the more you state it, the more it's real. The more we manifest it. Bad, bad, bad. And then we talked about remind yourself of what you already know. Things are about other people, not us. We are the own actors and actresses of our own script, the artists of our own lives, and we look through things through our own filter. So don't take things personally. It's a good idea anyway in life, and just dismiss it. And then we told you or suggested to step out, realize that there's a curfew for yourself today. Set it, draw a line, unplug the drug, and then do a not-to-do list. There's got to be 1 or 2 things at least you cannot do on this day. Mañana, a domani, not now, right? Tomorrow. And then take a break, get out of Dodge, look at something different, because here's the thing. I tell my students when they're studying and not getting anywhere, we just are in finals, today's last day, finals week. If you're not getting anywhere, there's no point in staring at that page. Close the book, go outside. It's that simple, really. Okay, so if you're overwhelmed, do these following things, or things I just said, that's what I meant. All right, this is Kimberly Quinn signing off from Northern Vermont. Have a mindful day.